When you're moving from place to place every couple of weeks, different time zones, it is really discombobulating and it's just hard to manage. I don't think we're just meant to operate in a ton of different time zones, just, evolutionarily speaking, that kind of thing. So it's tough. It's been tough for me.
Hi, I'm Kim Tolson and I'm the traveling therapist. It's my passion to teach therapists how to navigate online private practices and multiple income streams so they can travel the world. I'm a digital nomad with a virtual insurance-based private therapy practice and a multi-six-figure coaching business. I'm obsessed with entrepreneurship and developing tools that can help therapists live an adventurous lifestyle. In this podcast, I will discuss my journey as a digital nomad. I'll chat with other traveling therapists and help you navigate the complexities of running an online insurance-based practice. I'm so glad to have you with me on this journey. Managing a successful private practice can be challenging, even if you have all the skills and experience you need to support clients. Most training programs offer little to no guidance on running your own business. That's why Alma gives clinicians the tools they need to build a thriving private practice. When you join Alma, you can get credentialed with major insurance payers within 45 days, as well as guaranteed payment within 2 weeks of each session. You can also attract clients who are the right fit for your practice with a free profile in Alma's searchable directory. As you build your caseload, Alma also offers time-saving tools and administrative support, so you can spend less time on paperwork and more time delivering great care to your clients. Visit helloalma.com/Kim to download your free guide to identifying and connecting with clients who are the right fit for your practice. That's helloalma.com/KYM to get your guide.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Traveling Therapist Podcast. So today I have a listener episode that I want to share with you guys. So I get these questions all the time, and occasionally I'll come and record a podcast episode around the questions that I get. So I got this question from Jaime. And this is right on time for me because I'm struggling with the same thing. So this is almost going to be like a therapeutic episode for me to talk through this because Jaime, let me just jump to it. Jaime says, "Hey, Kim, I'm a traveling therapist, currently working my way through South America. I absolutely love the freedom and experiences that come with this lifestyle, but I'm constantly struggling with managing my time effectively between different time zones, finding new workspaces, and trying to explore each new place. I feel like I'm always playing catch up with my schedule. Do you have any tips or strategies that can help me balance my work and travel more efficiently? Thanks a lot." So great question, Jaime. My challenge as well. I have really been struggling. Some of you guys know we've been down in the Dominican Republic for, I guess it's almost 8 weeks now. We're getting ready to leave on Saturday to go back to the United States for a couple of weeks, but this has just been a struggle. I was talking to the last episode with Amber Lyda, and I was even talking to her about it. I keep thinking I'm going to figure this all out and it's just going to be easy breezy, smooth sailing. But the truth is, I'm finding for myself anyway, it's just a constant, unpredictable kind of thing. And it's kind of stressful. So, I want to tackle this question, one, to just help myself get better structured around it, but also, Jaime, to answer your question. And I'm sure since we're struggling with it, everybody else is too. So let me see here. Okay, so let me talk about the struggles I'm having. Are you guys listening? I know you're therapists, so if anybody wants to call me or help me, please feel free. No, I'm just kidding. So one thing that has been really complicated for me is how different schedules. So I've got a coaching schedule, Calendly I use for that, and then I have Simple Practice that I use for my clients. And of course, the two don't integrate unless you upgrade Simple Practice. I'm hoping they're going to fix this, especially for us traveling therapists, because none of these calendars coordinate correctly. And then I'm terrible at technology, so I also have this Google Calendar that's connected to my Zoom account, and the Zoom meetings that we schedule don't always coordinate over to my Outlook calendar, which is connected to my Calendly. And it's just a huge mess. I'm constantly struggling with it. I've sort of promised myself I'm going to get this scheduling under control. I've hired a second VA to help my first VA who's got too much work. And I think once I get a minute to breathe after Black Friday and all these deals we have coming up, I'm going to really try to get a better system for scheduling my different things going on in my life. What does happen to us is, we're sort of sporadic in our moving. So we knew we were going to be in the Dominican Republic, but we knew we were also going to sort of jump around. So, our schedules and the way we could book a couple of Airbnbs, it sort of worked out that I had a sponsorship live Q&A in my insurance billing Facebook group. A sponsor, paid for a live Q&A time to get in front of my audience and share about their company. I'll put their name out here too, Mentaya. They're a great company. I really have enjoyed working with them. They've got a great product. But anyway, they paid for the sponsorship, which is excellent. However, it turns out that we ended up having to move on the same day. I did not check my schedule. So I put them on my one schedule, which is my Outlook Calendar schedule. Then my VA gave them a Zoom link, sent them the Zoom link. Then Zoom decided it was going to stop working on Facebook. With Zoom, you can stream it into your Facebook groups when you have a guest, and you can share with the live Q&A that way. It wasn't functioning properly, so I couldn't figure out how to do that. I had to find a new platform. But anyway, turned out I did not look at the calendar. This was my own fault, but we decided we were going to move on the same day that this was happening. And I did not even remember until 2 days before I had the live event in my Facebook group that we were moving on the same day to a new location. So wouldn't you know it, we get to the new location. The live is at 4 p.m. We had check-in at 3 p.m. The internet wasn't working. The water was not working in the place that we moved into. The crew, the maintenance crew, was in the apartment talking extremely loud in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, and I had this meeting. So I had to go up on the rooftop of this place where we're staying, tether to my cell phone hotspot. I had to use a different, it's called, I can't think of the name of it. It's not Zoom, it's another option. I had to do that. I had to send out new links to Taya. And basically I hosted this live Q&A on the rooftop of this building in the Dominican Republic through my phone's hotspot. The wind was blowing, my headphones were picking up all the wind sound. It was just a nightmare basically. And it's my fault because my time management is terrible. My scheduling management is terrible. I didn't even look to see if I had anything scheduled on the day we decided to move. It just didn't occur to me. It was a Thursday. Usually I don't see clients on Thursday, so I thought I was good to go, and I wasn't. So I'm just sharing that little side note to say, Jaime, I totally get it. A lot of us are not just therapists. We're also managing multiple income streams. We're moving all the time. It's stressful. I wrote my friends that day and I said, you guys, I feel like I'm having a nervous breakdown or something. I just can't get it straight. I can't figure out how to manage this stuff. So of course, in a crisis, always clarity after, okay, obviously I've got to do a better job of this. And of course, my boyfriend's like, I've been telling you this for 6. So new plan is before we pick a move date or a transfer to a new place date, I've got to check all my calendars just to make sure, even though I think I'm good. So that's my new plan for that. So Jaime, just putting that out there to share with you that it's just hard. It's hard for me anyway. If someone's listening and you have a great way that you manage all this, please schedule to come on this podcast because I think it will help everyone. Okay, so I do want to talk about some time management strategies I have figured out that have worked for me, except for these little teeny things that I'm talking about right now. So let me dive in and give you guys some tips and ideas around things that can help. Okay, so time zones, that's our favorite thing ever, isn't it? So what happened here in the Dominican Republic on the same week, actually, that whole incident happened is daylight savings time in on the East Coast, basically. We were at East Coast time down here in the Dominican Republic. The time zone change happened. It did not change in the Dominican Republic. It stayed the same time. East Coast did change by an hour. So now we're an hour ahead of the East Coast in Atlantic time, which, I didn't realize was really a thing. So we're not Atlantic, we're not Eastern. I mean, we are Atlantic, we're not Eastern, we're not Central, we're not Mountain, we're not Pacific. This is a whole other time zone. So that happened the same week we were moving to this new place. So that really does throw you off. Something I've learned with that is I try to keep my computer, my calendar, my simple practice. I try to keep it all in Eastern time zone just makes it easier. My Zoom, all of that, if I keep my computer in Eastern, everything else stays in Eastern pretty much, doesn't automatically update. So that's helpful to be able to just look at my computer and see what time everything's happening. Eastern, I just keep it on that schedule. So that's one thing. The other thing is the world clock on your phone. It's on the iPhone. I don't know if people with Android have them, but on the iPhone, it's the world clock. You can go in and you can set every single time zone that you're looking at. So on my phone right now, I have Eastern, I have Atlantic, I have Central and Pacific right now on my phone because I'm dealing with people in all those time zones right now. So I can quickly open that app up and it'll just show me everything right there. So that's been helpful for me. Let's see here. And it's still tough. I swear, before any appointment, I'm checking and double checking my phone, my computer, making sure that I've got it right. And it's just stressful, you guys. I'm sure there's people that have really got it down, or you're used to just being in one other time zone for months and months and months. But when you're moving from place to place every couple of weeks, different time zones, it is really discombobulating and it's just hard to manage. I don't think we're just meant to operate in a ton of different time zones, just, evolutionarily speaking, that kind of thing. So it's tough. It's been tough for me. And, Jaime, if you're listening, that world clock really helps, and keeping everything on my computer in my practices time zone has been helpful for me. Let's see, and then even time zone changes, it's just disorienting, when you're like, you're used to waking up at 7 a.m., but now you're waking up at 6 or 3 or 4 in the morning because your body thinks still where you are. What's worked for me is trying to keep it pretty consistent. So I do keep some things like in my Bill Like a Boss group, I always have 12:30 p.m. Eastern. I always have a meeting in there with the billers. We have a live meeting on Friday. I've got it at 9:45 a.m. So even when I'm out in the Pacific Coast, I will do those at 6:45 a.m. I just try to keep all that stuff consistent for me. I don't try to change the schedule around too much. Now, if I was in New Zealand or, Southeast Asia or something, obviously I would have to change everything around. But right now, within 3 or 4 different time zones, I'll try to keep it all the same and not change anything too much. So that's been helpful for me too. Another thing I've been really trying to do in the morning just to kind of get grounded and anchored is wake up, have that first cup of coffee, check my email, that sort of thing, but not really dive into stuff too much. I'm trying to give myself a couple of, maybe an hour or two before I have to jump into anything, just to wake up, just to get oriented, grounded. I'll try to go for a long walk, or, sometimes try to do yoga. I'm saying that, but I haven't done it in quite a while, but I need to get back in the habit of that, because that was something I was doing every morning, just a quick little 30-minute yoga session to get me centered. So trying to have some regular routines every day, but, no matter what time I'm getting up or what time it is where I am, I'm still doing those same consistent patterns. That's helped me just kind of feel grounded, even amidst all these different changing environments and zones and, appointment times and all that stuff. So I hope that helps. Let's see what else. So another thing, my VA and I, we picked a time, and now we have a second VA. We picked a time where we can meet every single week. So luckily, she's super flexible. She's in the Philippines, and she's willing to stay on my 10 a.m. Tuesday time, which has been really helpful for me, because she works overnight basically in the Philippines, and she's willing to change depending on where I am. So that's been super helpful too. So if you have a team, seeing if they can be flexible with where you are, so you're not having to change all the time to accommodate them, I think has been really good for me. And she seems to be fine with it. So, I'd recommend that if you've got staff somewhere, helping, just see if they're willing to be flexible before you hire them. If you're going to be doing this lifestyle, let them know, hey, sometimes it could be your 10 a.m. or my 10 a.m. It just depends on where I am and where I'm traveling to. Are you willing to be flexible? And luckily, my VAs are pretty good about that, thank goodness. So that is something that's helped me stay a little more sane through this whole process, is having really flexible VAs. We do use a few tools to help us communicate and stay sort of in touch with each other, even when the hours are way different. So we use ClickUp, where we communicate a lot through ClickUp. We have tons of assignments in there that my VAs are working on, and I can go in when I'm not as busy, or when I'm not traveling, or, when I get a break from my appointments and stuff, when I get a break from my live events or seeing consultation clients or whatever I'm doing, I can go in to that ClickUp at any time and we can communicate that way. So I can just kind of leave them a message in there. They can leave it back with me, and that sort of navigates that time difference for us too. So they check when they've got time and I do the same. And that seems to work out just time management wise. See what else I want to tell you about Jaime. I don't know a lot about your situation. It could just be therapy appointments. For simple practice, I could just put this out there. One thing that sometimes I'll do with simple practice is on the iPhone app, you can toggle your time zone. So sometimes, if, out and about and I'm not looking at my computer that's sort of staying in Eastern time zone, I can toggle the app on my phone. So I can turn on time zone where my clients are located. I can see when my appointments are Eastern, and then I can toggle it back to my current time zone and it'll adjust the whole schedule. So that's been helpful for me too. So if you're just on the road, just with therapy clients, your EHR might be really helpful for that.
Building a private practice can be challenging. I know for me, when I was starting out, I had no idea how to get referrals. I had no idea how to manage paperwork. I knew nothing about insurance billing. The whole process was really daunting. Building a private practice can be challenging, to say the least. I remember when I was starting out, I had no idea how to get referrals. I had no idea how to navigate insurance. I had no idea even what paperwork was required. So growing a caseload, navigating insurance, and managing billing and paperwork all take significant amounts of time. And that's all in addition to delivering great care to your clients. That's why Alma gives clinicians the tools they need to build a thriving private practice. When you join their insurance program, you can get credentialed within 45 days and access to enhanced reimbursement rates. They also handle all the paperwork from eligibility checks to claim submissions, and they guarantee payment within 2 weeks of each appointment. So in addition to their insurance program, Alma also offers time-saving tools and administrative support, so you can spend less time on paperwork and more time delivering great care to your clients and traveling the world. Learn more about building a thriving private practice with Alma at helloalma.com/Kim. That's helloalma.com/KYM to get started.
In the traveling therapist course, we do have a major, I think it's a 2-part 90-minute presentation by one of the people, Jen Hyatt, who was licensed in Japan. She's living in Japan. She was licensed in, I think, maybe New York and California. And so she was juggling all 3 of those time zones and seeing clients, and she had a really good system going. So that's in the course. You might find it helpful if you're in the course. If not, grab it. It's a great course, and it's got tons of tips like that in there. Now, another time management technique I've been using is artificial intelligence. So you guys, if you listen to this at all, I'm obsessed with AI. I started something called the Clinical AI Club, which is a monthly membership where we talk about how to use AI in your private practice to save you time, money, give you your life back. So I do have to say, I use AI for everything I do, just about, and specifically ChatGPT, evolving. Even this last month, it's come out with a bunch of new updates that are just blowing my mind. But I use it for writing my progress notes. I use it for treatment plan updates. I use it for all my social media marketing. I use it for every single email I ever send out to anybody. I use it for onboarding sequences, which is actually going to be in my upcoming Black Friday deal that we're releasing. I mean, you could actually access it now, but it's really officially out 11/24. Super excited about that. So cut that. Super excited about that, but you can use AI to save time. It has given me a lot of time back. I have to admit that. I used to spend, even this podcast, I used to spend a lot of time after recording episodes trying to just first remember what I even talked about, and second, try to condense it into a summary that I could put on the show notes or give to my editor to put on the show notes. And then I was having to come up with like 3 key ideas or points that were really important that he could put on the social media graphics and all that stuff. With AI, I don't do that anymore. After I finish this episode, I'm going to download the transcript. I'm going to put it in ChatGPT. I'm going to say, summarize this into 2 paragraphs for the show notes so I can put it on my podcast page, and give me 3 key ideas and give me a title that's SEO friendly and also is sort of like clickbait for my listeners. So those are the prompts I use with ChatGPT. with my podcast transcripts, and it knocks it out in about 2 minutes. I look over it, I approve it, I send it to my editor, and I'm done with it. It's super quick. They used to take me hours to do that. So, I could go on and on about AI. I probably should just have a whole episode about it. But Clinical AI Club, I cover all this stuff. In the month of December, we're talking about, well, the Black Friday deal, part of it is using AI to generate SEO content for your website, which in turn increases your marketing and your onboarding. It brings more clients in. And then I also have a module I'm going to be releasing about how to put a chat bot on your website that's basically a marketing genius for people that are visiting your website. Those are the two Black Friday deals. And then all of December in the Clinical AI Club, we're going to be talking about that topic. So like I said, I could go on and on with that forever. But Jaime, AI, to answer your question, how do you make more time for all this? That's a game changer. And I know that word is way overused, but it's certainly true in this case. It's really given me a lot of time back. So another time management type issue is something all of us as therapists already know about, and that's setting clear boundaries with ourselves, which is another thing I'm obviously terrible at and always working on. So maybe you're better at this, Jaime, but setting clear boundaries. So ideally, my schedule is Monday, I do the traveling therapist stuff, and I see Bill Like a Boss, new Bill Like a Boss members for orientation, and I'll do a couple of coaching sessions on Mondays. Tuesdays, I used to see clients. Now I don't. I just see my VA for about an hour, my two VAs now for about an hour, 2 hours. We talk about our plans for the whole week, everything that we're going to be putting out. We get organized, that sort of thing. And then I might plan some other events like tonight in the traveling therapist. No, tonight in, which group is that? The insurance billing group. My friend Gabrielle Giuliana Villani is coming in. She's doing their free presentation in that group for LPCs and LMHCs who want to join Medicare. It's open now for LPCs to join. Traditionally, it never has been. This is a brand new thing. So she's coming in to talk about that and how to do it and do it effectively. If you want to become a Medicare provider, you can now. So that's tonight, we're doing that. And then in Bill Like a Boss, I have an event tonight, which is really highly unusual. I don't have evening events hardly at all. But tonight, the billers of Bill Like a Boss, Annie and Donna, are doing a presentation on how to bring medication providers into your group practice. So how to bill for nurse practitioners, MDs, psychiatrists, if you have a group practice and you want to bring on a medical provider. Lots of people do want to when you're in a group practice because it brings in more money, more revenue. You have a psychiatrist on staff or a psychiatric nurse practitioner that can take care of any problems you're having. It's super helpful. So back to my original point, on Tuesday tonight, we're doing that. And then usually that's just a day for my VAs and then a little bit of playtime, but today it's not. And then Wednesday, I do see my 5 remaining clients that I have. I'll scatter them throughout the day, usually stopping around 1 or 2. So I don't have to see clients in the evenings because I really want my evenings and afternoons free, especially in all these places that we're traveling to and visiting. Thursdays are totally off normally, except for last week when we moved and I had that Mentaya thing scheduled. And then Fridays are open in the mornings for coaching clients and recording podcast episodes if somebody's scheduled and that sort of thing. So that's how I structure my day. The priority being I want afternoons generally off so we can go have fun, explore, go out to dinner, and not have to worry about coming back for anything. So normally evenings are off. So setting clear boundaries around the time management and what's important to you is super helpful with this stuff. And don't let clients talk you into things. I tell all my friends, I still have this one client every other Wednesday at 5 p.m. that has appointments here and there. And, I get to the point where I just don't want to have the appointments. And I finally had the talk. I hope she doesn't listen to this, but I finally had the talk that it's just too unpredictable for me. We, don't have reliable internet. And starting in January, I'm going to have to just stop seeing her and all my clients, actually. I'm moving towards that it's just going to be an emergency type basis. And if they need a new therapist, we're going to refer them out to a new therapist. So that's a big change that I'm putting in place in January for myself, because it's just, I don't need to really see clients anymore. I've got all this other stuff going on, and it really does hinder my schedule when I'm trying to be a traveling therapist and exploring and all that other time management skills that I'm terrible at, but still working on. I hope this is helping, hearing somebody else being terrible at it, but is having virtual assistants and delegating to them all the time, trying to put SOPs in place, which is basically like systems and protocols in place that they follow for every task that we have. So they don't even need to talk to me in the most of the time. Tuesdays we have a meeting to coordinate, but a lot of these SOPs are on autopilot now. I've really been working hard this last year to do that and to just let them run those things that they're good at and leave it alone after that. So that's, delegation is important of administrative tasks, just utilizing virtual assistants. If you need a virtual assistant, you guys have probably heard me talk about this before. I have yourvafinder.com. It's a directory I started of virtual assistants, billers, all kinds of people that can help you with different things. I think there's like 41 different companies on there right now that can help you if you need an admin assistant. So I highly recommend it. And once you get one, actually using them in the right way instead of micromanaging, which is what I used to do. And, identifying some other things that help with like that life balance type thing with time management. So something I mentioned before, like the yoga, doing that sometimes. Sometimes I'm just like, oh my God, I've got to get out of here. So I'll just turn everything off and just go. Like if I'm working on emails or something that I'm trying to do for the business, I'll just go take a very long walk and just take a break. And maybe it's not scheduled at that time. Breathing exercises, we all know that as therapists, probably overrated, but just sometimes I can just feel myself just being really stressed, holding my breath, trying to squeeze everything in when the schedule's already a little chaotic. So, trying to pay attention to when I'm doing that and then trying to do some breathing or like some mindful walking, or I'll go out, just swim in the ocean a little bit and just do some, affirmations that make me feel better, like abundance affirmations, like, I have everything I need. I don't need to work this hard. It's okay to take a break, stuff like that, because I do tend to really push myself. Journaling, if you like that, there's tons of travel journals and that sort of thing that you can buy that just helps you like be in the moment where you are instead of just focusing on the stress of life and moving and traveling and organizing and planning and all that comes with it. Yeah. So just a couple things in nature. If you're traveling, if you're like me, we're down here on the ocean pretty much we have been for 2 months, and after this we're going to another place that's on the ocean. So just trying to put myself in nature and places I really love, which is water. Water always calms me and helps me feel more balanced. So those kind of things. Self-compassion breaks when I feel myself just working too hard. I just told my VAs today, I said, after this Black Friday launch is over, I'm doing nothing. I'm doing nothing from December 15th to January 15th is my plan, to just totally take a break and not push. We're always pushing something. We're always improving something. We're always just focused on, how to make things better in the memberships, or how to, bring more members in, or how to offer more content that's going to be more helpful, analyzing surveys, statistics, that sort of thing. So I said that we're just taking a break. We all need it. Just like we'll still run social media, I'll do reels or whatever, that kind of thing, but we're just taking a break because it's just been a crazy year with moving so much and, just going to new places and not having reliable internet, just the level of stress that happens with that when you have tons of meetings scheduled and all that. So taking a break. Yay. So that's, those are my tips, Jaime. I hope that helps. I'm talking to you and myself. If you guys have other tips or strategies you want to give me, I'd love to hear them, how you're managing this whole thing. The big thing is really trying to find systems that work for you, for your unique lifestyle or business and how you're trying to manage things, but just getting good systems in place. I probably mentioned this a couple episodes ago. I did hire a coach that's helping me get better systems in place because, I'm not good at that. I was just a therapist that saw clients. I didn't have, almost $1 million business and 2 VAs and a podcast editor and a tech manager and all of this stuff. And I didn't know how to like manage all that. So she's been helping me learn what SOPs are and putting systems in place and stop micromanaging and take a step back and, how to let this thing kind of run itself in a way so it can scale and get bigger. And I can also take some breaks. So that's my tips and my tricks. I hope that helps some. Let me know, you guys, if you're listening, what you do. I'd love to hear. Write me. I'll have another episode and read your answers. Anyway, what do I have? So today I'm recording this 11/14/2023. We have Black Friday coming on the 24th of November. We've already started launching an awesome product. I'm just going to plug it so you guys can know. If you are joining any of my memberships, so Bill Like a Boss, telehealth, or so if you're joining any of my memberships, the Bill Like a Boss, the Traveling Therapist membership, the Clinical AI Club, starting 11/24, we are going to give you this awesome, it's worth $497. So it's an entire email onboarding sequence. And it's basically from the minute somebody hits your email list to when they schedule with you. It's a nurture sequence, essentially, that makes them want to book with you. It makes you irresistible as a therapist. So we've got those onboarding sequences. They're plug and play. Basically, you plug them into your email systems like MailChimp or MailerLite or whatever you're using, and it just automatically sends them out when people join your free email list from your website. We also are teaching you how to put a chat bot on your website that's going to put these people into the sequence for you. Anybody that hits your website. And then we have a presentation from my tech guy, my web designer, Archie at Arca. If you want his information, let me know. He is doing something on SEO and AI, how to use AI to up your SEO game. And all of this, the whole point in this is to increase your marketing, increase your onboarding, put it on autopilot so you have more time. So it's, sort of timely with this topic that we're talking about today. And then the fourth part of that package is I'm doing an AI tutorial on how to create social media for an entire month in about 2 minutes using AI, and how to just make it on autopilot for you. Every single month, you'll have that content ready just to put out on AI. Okay, so excited to share that. And if you join in any of the memberships between today, really you could technically get it today through the 30th, we're going to put this package in the membership for you to get on the 24th is when it'll be live for you. So you'll get it. It's a $497 value, and you get it for free when you join any of the 3 memberships. Okay, so I'm sure you'll see me sending emails about that too. But anyway, that's what's going on. And then December 15th, I'm taking a break. So I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate Thanksgiving wherever you are, and great holidays coming up. Holiday season isn't too crazy for everybody, and that you travel and you plan well and you have good time management. And I hope hearing some of my story helps you get inspired to get better time management for yourself. And Jaime, thank you so much for your question. I hope that helps them. And if you have strategies you figure out, just hit me up with email and let me know. We'll have you on the podcast also. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to the Traveling Therapist podcast. For show notes, links, and downloads, head over to thetravelingtherapist.com, where you'll be able to learn more about my journey, the courses I've created for you, and other exciting resources to make your dreams become a reality. If you've enjoyed this episode, please share with your traveling therapist friends, subscribe to the podcast, and if you loved this episode, please leave a review.